I'm Darrian P. Mack.
And I'm Nicky, and this is Notification Squad on the Leaderboard.
So this is a show where we talk about games, give out prizes, and respond to your comments from this week's videos. So what do we have up first, Nicky?
We have unmuted discussion.
Hey, welcome to our special segment of Unmuted. We've brought on a special guest, a friend of Frederator, Andy, to talk about horror games because I don't play that many. I know you play a lot.
But not as much as this guy.
But not as much as this guy.
I've
He's
played,
like an expert. Tell us about it.
Almost every horror game ever made in existence.
Almost every horror
From
game.
like Sweet Home back on the Nintendo.
Oh, wow.
And if you get that reference at all, I'll be really impressed.
Wow.
I didn't.
Okay.
I did not get that
This
reference.
is why you're a loser.
Yeah,
I'm a winner.
Guys, listen, I'm easily scared, and so horror games actually terrify me in real life, so I don't play them.
I've seen
as
it
much.
firsthand. It's,
You were playing Friday the 13th, and you were just watching.
I was just watching.
Yeah.
I was just watching Andy play.
And I was playing PT. He was also watching as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching that too, and I was scared. That was actually terrifying. And you also had the mood lighting, like the red light.
I had my hue lights were all red, like blood red.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was extra intense.
But so before we jump into like what our favorite horror games are, and I know we have comments from other videos about it, what makes a great horror game in your opinion?
Sound design. I would say if the score and the sound is off, it's not going to be a good horror game. Look at games like Silent Hill or Clock Tower.
Yeah.
They utilize sound so perfectly.
Yeah.
And it just makes the whole thing just... Whew, getting the Ghibli's thinking about it right now, actually. Scissor Man! Like, yeah.
Dude, that you make an excellent point. And just being in film school, you know, the first thing that you do is you actually put sound in front of like your visuals and stuff like that. So you make a great point because some of the best horror movies, it all depends and comes down to the sound and how you feel. Like, you know something's creeping behind the corner. You know something's gonna pop out. Maybe it might not, but you make it a great point.
I'm gonna agree and disagree at the same time.
Oh, shit.
Like,
Okay,
when
here
you
we
think,
All right.
when you think about sound, because I think sound design is really, really important in anything. You think about like I Am Legend with Will Smith. That movie, it's not a game, but I'm getting there. That movie, you don't realize it at first, but there's no music during any of the major parts that are happening. Like there's virtually zero music. And I think that creates an even scarier environment because sometimes I feel like with bad sound design or even with horror games that have a lot of music, when the crescendo starts to happen, you know something's gonna happen. And it might add a level of fear, but it also, I think the jumps and the scares are more authentic when you don't know that they're coming. So that level of unpredictability is kind of the strongest point.
But you can have that without the absence of sound. You can have that with sound design, you know?
True. But I think, like setting like the atmosphere, like moans and groans.
But it can
in the
always
building or
like
something.
peak and then nothing could happen.
Yeah.
Just totally setting you up. Now jump scares, I feel should not be in horror games.
Really?
Like in Resident Evil, which is
all right. That leads us into our next question. What is your favorite horror game?
oh my god, this is like the worst question to ask me because like there's so many options. I mean, I can think of a million choices because I want to go something that's familiar, like Silent Hill or Clock Tower. There's this game on the Dreamcast known as Ill Bleed.
Never played it.
Ooh. Okay, so it's basically for $1 million are at stake. You're in some like horror amusement park, and it takes horror tropes throughout the ages, like the slasher trope, like the mutant leech woman trope. So in your amusement park, there's like a fear meter, and essentially you have to disarm traps in the game. You have to approach them really slowly.
Yes.
And if you trigger them, your fear goes up, and like it's super gory.
Oh, okay.
It's such schlock horror, like B-movie level stuff, but it's just great.
It's up there for you?
It was a gem on the Dreamcast. I missed the Dreamcast.
I love the
What should I
Dreamcast.
do for my Dreamcast?
Nicky, what's your favorite?
Okay. Okay, so you keep mentioning Clock Tower and Silent Hill. I just want to defend Resident Evil real quick because
That's my favorite.
No, there's no defense.
I know there's a lot, it relies a lot on jump scares, and it probably doesn't have the suspense that we're used to in horror movies and like classic horror games, but I personally put it up there because it's nostalgic for me playing it. I was scared. Like you said, the zombies aren't scared. But the GameCube remake is great when you have the Crimson Zombies.
Sure.
Right?
I'll give you that.
But I think it's all about the fixed camera. because it's like when you turn the corner, and I guess maybe you can chalk that up to being a jump scare, but just like not knowing what's there, or just like, they do set up like in the house, somebody's gonna jump through the window, right? But all those things, at a young age, I thought that was awesome. That's all I'm gonna say about Resident Evil.
Oh, can I jump on that for a second? Like, I think
It's not
also
scary at all.
we're gonna talk. I was actually having a conversation with one of our producers, Adrian, and we were talking about like one of the things that Resident Evil I think did well is initially it's an early game, so we're not talking about graphic fidelity, but the feeling of helplessness that you get in that game, like you don't have unlimited ammunition, you don't have unlimited attacks, like you have to. It's like the world is so much bigger than you are, and I think when you play a really good horror game, that like the atmosphere, the background being bigger than you. Dead Space is a really great example.
I was gonna say, but like in Resident Evil, you're like a trained like special forces like cop guy.
Okay, sure, but
Compare
you're fighting
that to
zombies.
a Silent
You can't
Hill,
be trained for that.
You're just some like schmo, like Joe Schmo dad who can't fire a gun properly.
But what if you run out of ink ribbons? Then what do?
Then you're asked out of luck then at that point.
Okay, so my pick that I'm gonna say, without the ones mentioned, I gotta give it to Eternal Darkness on the GameCube.
Okay,
Right?
that's a great one.
Right?
GameCube
Yeah.
And if you aren't familiar with this game, basically they had a whole like catalog of things that the game would do to you to mess with you psychologically. Like the game would just all of a sudden have the GameCube start screen, Or back then there was tube TV, so all of a sudden a volume meter was just like going down. And you're like, wait, I didn't press the volume control, and then all of a sudden it would flash because you had this meter of just like your insanity level, and you didn't know what was real. Like blood would start dripping from the screen, and all those things. Some of them weren't scary, but it was just like
The insanity meter.
it was just like it would mess with you.
Or erase your save file.
Yeah, and you're like, what?
Oh yeah.
That's scary. That's the scariest thing that you can run to a game.
Or the blue screen
My
of death.
file.
Game is messing with me.
Blue screen of death.
Yeah.
My computer.
And then someone would like sneak up behind you and tap you on the shoulder, and you're like, oh, that's just the game, right?
No.
I don't know what's happening in your household, but I mean, ask you something because we were having a conversation in the office the other day about Until Dawn. I played
Okay,
it recently.
yes.
What are your thoughts on Until Dawn?
So
it's
I-
kind of a popular game.
it's funny
People have
because-
asked for it in 107.
Yeah. So I bought Until Dawn when it came out a few years back, and it's been in a little cellophane wrapper in my shelf, and I just bought it on the PSX. It's free for the month. I was like, oh, it's there. I'm just gonna download it now. It's there.
Yeah.
And I'm lazy. So I bought it. I played it all the way through. I saved most of my friends. I think only 2 or 3 were killed in the end.
Oh.
As a slasher movie like Fanatic, it's great. Yeah. If you love slasher films or like urban legend films, you will love this game.
What games are coming up that you're looking forward to as far as horror games?
Evil Within 2.
Evil Within 2.
The trailer looked awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask you, especially with newer games, not necessarily the ones that are coming out or the ones that just came out, how did you feel about Resident Evil 7? Because that was a huge shift.
Oh, it was a lot better than Part 6. That was a garbage game.
We don't talk about those.
Well, you can argue that 4, 5, and 6 were not horror games.
True. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but 7 you really did like? You played through, yeah?
It's funny because when I first played that game, you would think this can't work as a first-person shooter. It's like when you played Metroid Prime for the first time back in the day, like this is not gonna work at all. What is this? What is nonsense? And it's like, this is really, really good. And then with the VR headset.
Oh, I was gonna
have
ask
you tried it yet?
in VR.
No, I didn't try it in VR, no.
I haven't tried it in VR either.
Yeah?
That
That's
is
good?
that
Does
is.
that change the world for you?
It really makes a good argument, a sound argument to get a PSVR. That game, I feel.
Wow.
Yeah. It sells the platform, the VR platform. I feel.
Notable mentions, I actually really did like the Resident Evil on the 3DS. That was kind of scary.
Oh, Revelation.
Yeah, Revelation?
Yeah.
I thought, I don't know, I was playing it in a laundromat.
Well, you know what?
And I was like, what? No! And I was just so feared of just like, because I'm like 100% like completionist, where I'm like, the guy zombie or whatever the monster's coming at you, but like you can scan him. I'm like, I need to scan you before I kill you. And it's like in my face, and I'm like, I'm gonna die for this. This is dumb. Yeah, that's silly. But also, I did enjoy Slender. At the height of Slender.
Okay,
Yeah,
Slender,
okay.
yeah.
Right? At the height of it, I thought it was a good
It makes
game.
a lot of
Like
top 10
the
lists.
proper like release, the Arrival that came out, Slender, the Arrival.
No, the
Oh, the Flash,
Yeah.
the first.
The jump scare, yeah. I mean, I played it, I remember, in a sunroom, and it was completely daylight out, but I was still, like, scared, and you're just, like, collecting papers. But, again, it was sound design.
Yeah.
You know, just hit the leaves, and then the feeling of helplessness that you mentioned, like, you can't use your flashlight too much, otherwise it will, you know. And also, like, games like Amnesia, you kind of get that feeling as well. But then once you, you know, get a nice peek behind the curtain or just see the monster in full light, kind of like that Doug Funny episode, you know, it's like, oh, it reveals the zipper. It's like, it's really not that bad if you just see the monster.
Yeah, well, I mean, the feeling of you know, as an honorable mention, the feeling of helplessness. I think Little Nightmares does a great job of that. Like, it takes all you have is a lighter, and you're this tiny person, and everything's enormous. So I think that is another really great example of fearful. Even watching Let's Plays, I'm like, oh my God, run, duck, hide, don't get caught.
All right, since you're doing honorable mentions here, I want to mention Alien Isolation.
Oh,
a great game.
That's a good one.
So that is like you have an unbeatable enemy that's stalking for the entire game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can't kill it at all, right? Like,
nope, not till the very end. You can distract it with like flamethrower, some noise bombs, or whatever the hell.
I mean,
isn't that based off of Aliens?
It's the setting.
It's I think
it's a xenomorph.
I know it's a xenomorph.
You play as Ellen Ripley's daughter. In that game.
And then you also have Jonesy's son.
Yeah. Just like
this is whole, like,
wandering around the hallway. Yeah.
No, but I mean, we can talk about horror.
Me out.
You can talk about games all day, and especially horror movies like Alien and Aliens is one of my favorite.
Yeah, Aliens.
Oh, it's the best.
Aliens or Aliens?
Alien.
Oof.
Aliens is an action movie.
Aliens is an action movie.
Alien is a horror movie.
It's so scary.
What makes it scary?
Oh my God, the queen and the bishop getting ripped in half. Like, that's all terrifying. The little newt getting kind of ramped up.
It's annoying as heck.
But I mean, when she was getting chased, I was scared for her. Yeah. I thought Aliens was a
dudes
great.
with guns.
But still, I mean, there were guns on an Alien. I mean, you had some. I mean, you had some self-defense capability.
Alien is scarier. Yeah, it's the better movie.
It's horror, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Aliens 2 is my favorite. Sound off in the comments if you agree with me. I need some support up here because I'm clearly being outnumbered.
And please sound off in the comment, what's your favorite horror game?
Yes, let us know in the comments what's your favorite horror game. What do you think of our conversation? If we left anything out, just mention it and we might do a part 2 of this.
We should.
Well, Andy, thank you so much for joining us and giving your amazing insight and knowledge on horror games. Hopefully we'll have you back for another episode.
If people want to follow you, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter at PantsGuy, which is
I didn't know this.
New information, guys.
Right. Did not know that.
I hardly ever use it, but that's where I am. Send a quick message, and I'll reply back.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see Andy again.
Maybe we'll see him again.
Yes, I will be here.
Yeah, let us know if you want to see Andy in the comments.
Yeah, he'll be in the comments.
It's like,
see Andy in the comments.
That guy sucks.
And join us on Discord if you want to continue this conversation. The link to our Discord is in the description, so make sure you check that out. All right, and you'll be in Discord on Sunday.
I'll be in Discord.
And if you want to get more from Andy, make sure you check the description for some links. And next up, we have in-game chat.
So in-game chat is the section where we like to respond to your comments and select a comment of the week.
Our first comment comes from Boxy, and she says, for horror games, my favorite had to be Dead Island, but nothing will be scarier than Unagi in Super Mario 64.
That's the eel that comes out of the cave. I mean, it is scary, especially with those polygon graphics. There's a lot of polygon graphics from 64 and PlayStation that scared me too, so you're not alone, Boxy. I know where you're coming from. Michael says, I'm super excited for next week. I hope you guys have some great content. I'm still in love with this segment of the leaderboard. # notification squad. And that was on our discussion about what makes a gamer versus a non-gamer. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a great comment section. We love it.
That was I mean, Nicky and I almost fought afterwards, but it's okay, because I'm actually a gamer.
I love my Candy Crush.
All right, our next comment comes from 12 Unicorn Time. I missed the fact number in between the facts.
And this was on Sims.
And this was on our 107 Sims video. So a while ago, we decided to change the way we do 107s to make them a bit more engaging. So we dropped the facts. So that's saying fact number 1 and fact number 2 and fact number 3 in the video.
Yeah.
So, and we found that it's working out well, but if you guys missed the facts numbers, comment down below and let us know.
And to end in-game chat, we like to pick a comment of the week, and that comes in from the Retro Station 03 featuring Rock, Paper 123 and Furble Gerbil. The new leaderboard profile pic looks great.
This was, I'm so happy to see this. And a couple of you guys have been commenting about the new sort of branding that we've been doing, the new header, the new profile pic. We just want to be more warm and inviting and more welcoming. And I'm glad that you guys are receiving it. Let us know also if you like it or you want us to change it back.
And if you want to be featured on the show, just leave a comment on this video or any video, or give us a call at 347-948-6271 and let us know what should we talk about next.
All right, the next segment in Notification Squad is the Fam Roundup, and this is a segment where we shout out the squad leaders and we play a little game and give out some prizes. So who are we shouting out right now, Nicky?
This week, we're shouting at the squad members: Hero99, Gummy Swift.
We got Harry Cole and Julian the Gorilla. All right, and Julian the Gorilla says, "I will never be first."
Well, as long as Ryan Koshel is on the prowl.
Right. I don't know how he does it. Ryan refuses to reveal his secret. Ryan, I would love, even if you have to DM on us on Twitter, or in Discord, let us. How do you do it? You beat us to the comment section.
He says
That's amazing.
It's Xbox. He knows he gets a notification and he does it on his Xbox, which I think is ridiculous because it's like a controller.
Right. Do you have a keyboard with your Xbox? Is it like a super keyboard?
And our favorite part of Fam Roundup is the part where we give out prizes in How Well Do You Know That Game? Last week we showed you this image, and a lot of you actually said Mario RPG.
Yeah, even in Humongous, it suggested it was probably Kingdom Hearts based on the heart style in the video.
It's actually kind of funny. This is the first episode we actually didn't have a winner. No one got it right, but we did pick one for being so close. And I'm sorry if it was too difficult to identify this image, but if we slowly pan out, it's actually
Bahamut from Final Fantasy X. It's a summon.
So we had to give it to Brian Kelly. He said, "I want to say the pick is the Phoenix summon from Final Fantasy VII, but I don't know." And he wasn't sure, but he was the only person that guessed Final Fantasy. You got the series correct.
Right.
So
you're in the right universe of things.
Brian Kelly, please DM us your info on Twitter at @theleaderboardnet because you have won a Best Buy gift card. And for this week's How Well Do You Know That Game, we have this image. And if you know what this is, please leave a comment and you can win a Best Buy gift card.
Make sure you check the description for links for the giveaway rules because some conditions do apply.
So that's pretty much the show. Please give us a call at 347-948-6271 and let us know what we should talk about next.
And if you want to join Notification Squad, make sure you subscribe and then click that bell right next to it so you'll be notified on whenever we upload. And Nicky, when do we upload?
We upload 5 times a week.
And it's real simple this time, Wednesday through Sunday.
That's right.
That's right, it's real simple.
And if you want to get more out of your game, be sure to subscribe to the Leaderboard, your home
for video game facts.
Hi, Notification Squad. My name is Nicholas. Answering the question from last week, my favorite horror game is Bendy and the Ink Machine. The story is really cool and the aesthetic is beautifully creepy.
Hi, Leaderboard. This is Lee Baring. My favorite was probably Resident Evil 4. Thank you for listening.